Hello and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the Algebra 1 concept of solutions, graphs, and quadratic functions. This is standard A.6C in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 7 off the 2018 released STAAR test. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. So we've got this graph here showing the height of feet of an object above the ground in t seconds. All right, so we've got our t is going to be our x-axis right there, and h of t is going to be our y-axis. Just for simplicity's sake, I'm going to replace them for x and y. We'll put them back in for t and h of t in just a moment. So what we have here are 4 different selections to choose from that are in the standard form, right? So this is the f of x equals ax squared plus bx plus c. So that's our standard form of our quadratic function. We need to make it look like that. We've got 2 options to get there. We could use a vertex form. So this would be f of x equals a, and then I've got x minus h squared plus k, and that's where the h and the k become very helpful, because they are actually the x and y coordinates of the vertex. And it looks like we've got a pretty clear vertex here. We have an x of 2 and a y of 64. So we could plug that in there, and we could use another point to find the a, and we could probably do that. But we could also do the factored form, and that's the one I'm going to do in this problem. But if you used vertex form, that's also fine. So this is just the factored form of the standard form. So f of x equals a, and then x minus u, and x minus v. And this also is helpful because the u and the v are going to be your solutions, or your zeros, or your x-intercepts. And so we've got 2 very clear zeros here. One is through the origin, 0, 0, and one is at 4, 4, 0. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and say, you know what, I'm going to put in my x minus 0, and then x minus 4. And I know those are true when f of 0 and f of 4 are 0. All right, so we can just put that there. And let me go ahead and just multiply these binomials here. So this is going to be x squared, right? And then I've got minus 4x minus 0x. That's just going to be 0. And then that's going to be plus 0. So you see how that's helpful, because I'm just getting rid of that. So really, that's as far as I can get there. So f of x is going to equal a times x squared minus 4x. Doesn't really help me until I figure out what a is. So let's just pick a point, and it looks like we got a good point right there. That's going to be 3, 48. So we will just replace that. So 48 equals a, and then I've got my x of 3 squared minus 4 times 3. So I'll use this to solve for a, and then we'll be good to go. So that's going to be 9 minus 4 times 3 is 12. So 48 equals, and that's going to be negative 3a. All right, so divide both sides by negative 3. What am I going to get? Well, I'm going to get a equals negative 16. And so that negative 16, right, is I can put that right back up here, and I can factor that out. So let's see if we can write it correctly here. So h of t, I'm going to put the t's and the h of t back in, equals, my a is negative 16. So I need to factor that negative 16 out, x squared, right? But then it's negative 16 minus 4x, so that's going to be plus 64x, and those are actually t squared and t. So my answer is C. H of t equals negative 16t squared, not x squared, plus 64t, not 64x.